This is a message to Curtis and Demetrius, aka 50 Cent and Big Meech. Now, first of all, I know you guys don't know me, and you couldn't care less probably of who I am, but I'm a stranger reaching out to give a message. Curtis, I'm definitely going to ask you this question, and I want you to think about it if you ever listen to this video. What do you think your mother would say to you right now with this beef going on between you and Demetrius? And Demetrius, what do you think your mother would say to you right now? What do you guys think makes sense, especially for both of your sons? Both of your sons are watching this beef. Meech, your son went to school for acting to please not only you, but to please his mother and to also get out of the streets and to do better and to legitimize his dad's name and his dad's legacy as well as his own for his offspring if he decides to have children. 50. You being pissed off at Rick Ross, and I get why you pissed off at Supreme. I totally get that. But the beef that's going on between you and Rick Ross is you guys' beef. Just between you two. The pettiness from grown men being seen by the world is crazy. Insane. You cut off the faucet, Curtis, because you were pissed off at somebody else that wanted you to cut off that faucet. That BMF series was definitely a running faucet of money. Not only was it keeping Lil Meech out of the streets and on the set and showing his true talent, but it was also putting money in your pocket, also keeping the world entertained, and also legitimizing Demetrius, Big Meech, your legacy for your grandchildren. Now we have this beef going on between you guys, and the world is watching, and they're getting thrills off of this shit, when really both of you guys need to be sitting at the round table talking like two real kings. Curtis, I gotta give it to you. What you did for Lil Meech was amazing. I'm gonna say thank you for everybody, because that was some stunt double shit right there. For you to step up like a real one, showing this man, I'm gonna look out for your son. I'm gonna put him through acting school, and I'm gonna get him to play you. Everybody else will probably look at it and say, oh, he only did that bullshit because he was trying to make some money off the BMF and da-da-da-da. He owns this and da-da-da-da. But Curtis, I feel deep down inside you have a great heart. You're a great person. That's why great things happened for you. Instead of you falling into the hands of the dark side, you should stay in the light and keep shining. And talk to this man Meech, because Big Meech is still living in the past after being incarcerated for so long. He's still living with the same mentality that he had before he went in. He's still living in the same era. Now that it's 2025, everything is brand new to him. And Meech, you got out and started moving way too soon, when you should have just relaxed and said, let me allow my sun to keep shining, and I'm going to stay behind the scenes and build the brand from back here. That would have been the smartest thing for you to do, Demetrius. Build the brand from behind the scenes so that your son and you could have the life that I remember seeing this young man sharing on Instagram, always speaking highly of his father. Now the world is laughing and talking and, oh, he's snitching and, oh, da-da-da-da. Curtis, you went through the same bullshit when they put out that shit about you telling. You went through the same shit, but you also cleared your name. And Demetrius, what you saying, death before dishonor, that speaks volumes. And I only heard that from a dude that's on death row. He has it tatted on him. And for you to say that and sit down and do all those years, that right there alone speaks volumes. And for those that can't read between the lines, oh well. But Curtis and Demetrius, you both need to put your egos in the garbage and sit at the round table and talk like real kings do. Because both of your sons are watching you. And they're watching. And you don't want to repeat the same bullshit. You guys want to take this to a better level, to a different level. Because Demetrius, on the real, these dudes that was out here with you when you was out here in the streets, they didn't look out for your son after you went in. They didn't give a damn. He was out here on his own. And you know that. So I'm not telling you something you don't know. But at the same time, was Rick looking out for your son? No, he wasn't. He came to you to fuck with Curtis. And Curtis, you bit the bait. And so did you, Demetrius. You both fell for the okie doke. And who lost in the end? Curtis, I'm not saying you lost. But you really did lose because you trashed the series that everybody was actually waiting to see. That's millions gone down the drain. Demetrius, you lost because now you got the world looking at you like, is he snitching or is he not snitching? Your son is caught in the middle of it, which is insane. And Curtis, what do you think your mother would say to you right now? As a mother of a son myself, I would say to you, son, put that shit to the side and get your money. Because the ruling classes don't like you. The ruling classes don't like you. The ruling classes do not like you, and they don't care if you guys fall off, if you guys take each other out. They don't care. But as a woman of color, I care. And I would love to be able to see the BMF series reignited. I would love to be able to see Big Meech doing his own podcast or his own YouTube channel or selling his own brand, keeping the BMF name going in a good way, with his son back on the set. Little Meech not feeling the way he's feeling, because I can imagine how he feels being torn between two men that he looked up to. Shit that it wasn't even his fault he was blamed for. Everybody's laughing. Ha 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 ha. When you had another artist that was actually being labeled as a rat, he gets out of jail, jumps right back in, and sells millions of streams of music. And he's still going. And all this shit that everybody's laughing at between you guys is basically, what is it doing? Nothing. Curtis, you need to lead by example, because you are the example and people look up to you, whether you know it or not. And one day you were in the same situation once upon a time where you didn't have no money. You know what it feels like to not have no money. You know what it feels like to struggle. You've been in the trenches, you know. Bring that series back. Squash the bullshit. Put some salt on it. Sweep it under the rug. And keep it pushing. Turn the chessboard around. And start the game over.